Welcome to the lecture series of embedded systems. Today we discuss embedded systems. There are two main areas which are very much closely associated with embedded systems. If anyone wants to be more proficient and to have a profound knowledge of embedded systems, the one must know these two categories. One is microcontrollers and microprocessors. Why these two areas attract so much towards embedded systems? Because these two entities are the heart of embedded systems. Among these two entities, one is very much important because embedded system uses it wide in nature, that is microcontrollers. Why microcontroller is needed in case of embedded systems? For this, we need to understand the definition of embedded systems. So, what is embedded system? Embedded system is mainly for handling a dedicated task. What is dedicated task? Students often get confused what is task, what is dedicated task. If suppose anyone uses a general computing platform like iPhone, smartphones, these devices are general computing devices. In these devices, microprocessors are used to perform or to handle several tasks. What are tasks? For example, opening a file or playing a video or listening to music. These are different kinds of tasks. When it comes to a general computing platform, microprocessors are widely used. In case of embedded systems, microcontrollers are used because it is designed to handle a particular task, a dedicated task. Dedicated task means a device is able to handle a single task or a several tasks, only a several tasks. It cannot perform multiple tasks. That's why embedded system prefers using microcontrollers. In today's world, in a market, there are several microcontrollers are available. Every industry prefers embedded system because of its low power consumption and the handling ability to perform complex tasks. Why it is so important? Embedded system can handle real-time operation, that will we will discuss it later on. It's a battery operated device, so it consumes low power. If it's a wall mounted device, the device can be powered through a power jacket. So, microcontrollers plays a vital role in many applications. Let's see one by one. So, why microcontrollers are preferred over microprocessors? As I said earlier, it is a dedicated task to perform a dedicated task in many applications. For example, here I have given only few examples: medical devices, IoT devices, home appliances, and few areas. These are not limited. Embedded system has gone into very vast areas. For example, in a robotics, we might need to control several motors. So, for that we prefer controllers. What kind of controllers? Like electronic controllers. We should use a specific microcontrollers from the market. Using a single microcontroller is not advisable when it comes to a robotic field, because a system like an embedded system may use several microcontrollers. Several microcontrollers serves for a different purpose. For example, automobile industry, to monitor or to view certain parameters on the dashboard, a specific controller can be used. To control a performance of engine, we need a specific controller. To monitor the function of other communication channels, whether it works well or not, we need other kind of microcontrollers. It is not advisable to use a single microcontroller when it comes to embedded systems. So, embedded system can use multiple microcontrollers to perform a dedicated task. In IoT devices, we need to send a data packet from one end to another device, one end to another place, and to ensure proper communication, we need some security mechanism. So, for that we need to design a dedicated devices with the help of embedded system technology. Home appliances. How microcontrollers are used in our home? In our remote, we use microcontrollers. To control the room temperature in our air conditioning unit, we use microcontrollers. So, microcontrollers are prevailing everywhere. So, today's world is full of embedded systems. The word embedded system is originated from Japan. Japanese coined this term initially. Over a period of time, this embedded system started to prevail everywhere because of its nature, and everybody understands its importance. Embedded system consists of two major components. One is hardware component, another one is software components. Without these two components, no embedded system called as embedded systems, because only with hardware components the performance of the system cannot be obtained, or only with the software components the reliability of the system cannot be obtained. So, these two areas must be integrated to perform, to obtain a dedicated and useful task. So, understanding components of this area is very much important. So, here embedded system has two components, one is hardware components and software components. Let us see one by one. These are hardware components. Among these components, microcontrollers are essential one, and it plays a vital role in embedded systems. So, it is a processing unit of a system. Without microcontroller, the other devices cannot perform any communication. Through microcontroller, any device will transfer data or signal from its own place to another place, and other devices are input devices. Understanding microcontroller will not help us get thorough knowledge of embedded system. One needs to know sensors and other kind of peripherals, memories, memory management devices, memory management techniques, and communication interfaces. So much peripherals are around embedded systems. Microcontroller has inbuilt memory. If it is not sufficient to perform a task or a dedicated function, we can interface some additional memories. So, memory is needed for embedded systems, and analog to digital conversion technique and digital to analog conversion techniques is needed. For that, we need converters and useful communication interfaces, UART for serial communication, serial peripheral interface, I2C and CAN These devices are very much helpful for exchanging data with several devices. Here I have mentioned a few software components: embedded firmware, drivers, middleware, real-time operating systems, development tools. These are needed components for the embedded systems. So one must know how to design a hardware, and with a hardware how to program it. So learning embedded system will pave the way for growth. The another category is supporting components. Your embedded system may contain these supporting components, may not contain these supporting components, but embedded system should contain these two elements, these two components: hardware components and software components. Here I have compared microcontrollers and microprocessors with a few features. As I said earlier, microcontroller is for only embedded systems. If we prefer general purpose computing, we can go for microprocessor. Microcontroller has CPU, memory and few peripherals on a same chip. But in case of microprocessor, we need some external memory and peripherals to be interfaced. Embedded systems are cost effective. When we buy a microprocessor based system, the cost is high. When students want to learn embedded system, they can learn from choosing a basic board, basic microcontroller like Arduino. Arduino is the best example for learning embedded system projects. Here I have mentioned a few popular microcontrollers. The one is Arduino series. Arduino board helps for beginners and to develop knowledge around microcontrollers. And the another category is STM32. It's a little advanced microcontroller. It is widely used for industry and automotive applications. The other category is Raspberry Pi. Though it comes under microprocessor, for designing embedded system application, this board is also be considered. The other microcontroller is ESP32. Nowadays it is gaining more popularity among students. The other variety is PIC microcontrollers. So embedded systems are expected to be designed for a specific task. They are not expected to be programmed on a regular basis. So in the next class, we look at memory and how memory is chosen for embedded applications. Thank you.